Cartoons are not like anything else. Even music, which is almost been always one of the more important things in my life, still takes a small back seat to cartoons and the Muppets. And I think it's just because from the time I could see, this stuff was in front of me. Before I could think, before I could talk, this shit was in front of my face.
Are we talking like any of the one-offs or movie cartoons in the past 20 years? Or
depends on which ones. I mean, it doesn't
like let's say Charlie Brown, the Christmas one or something.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, something like that. Or Toy Story. I like those a lot.
I know that's animation, but do you consider those like cartoons?
Fuck it. What do I care? I'm not voting for any of them anyway. So yeah, bring them up. Ones I liked when my kid was a kid, there was stuff like Eek the Cat, which is nothing. It was like a ripoff of Heathcliff. He had a fat girlfriend, and everyone would go, "Your girlfriend's really fat," and he'd be like, "Oh, I don't see it."
Yeah, I like that. I like that quality.
So stuff like that was funny. The Tick is one of the best ones ever done. I mean, it is so fucking good. Those were classically funny.
Yeah, I liked the Tick a lot. I like the live action better though, actually.
It was good. I mean, Buddy was good as the Tick.
I watched the Tick live action first, and I think that I just fell in love with that.
What I didn't like about the live action was they changed Deflator Mouse, but they changed it because they're like, oh, people won't get the reference. But I'm like, well, you made one for 12-year-olds and you left it in there, but you made one for adults and you took it out. You dumbass.
American public.
So he says to me, "You want to be a bad guy?" And I say, "Yeah, baby, I want to be bad." I said, "Sure some space ponies. I'm making gravy without the lumps."
I'm a big fan of all the superhero ones. I wouldn't say any one of them stands out. There was an X-Men that ran in the early 90s that was phenomenal.
I don't remember Iron Man as a kid at all.
Really?
Tony Stark makes you feel he's a cool exec with the hottest.
An Iron Man, all jets ablaze. He's fighting and slight with repulsor rays. Amazing armor. Iron Man. A blazing bomber.
Did you notice in the movies they use that song all the time? It's like the music. The music they're playing is that song. Dan, did you ever notice that? But there was also shit back then too, like Kimba the White Lion. That motherfucker.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it when I was a little kid.
Appreciate you, little faggot.
Well, see, that's the thing too. Some stuff you just watch because it was on, you know.
You go down the music lane. When we were kids, there was the Beatles, which was hysterical because the only thing I remember about the Beatles cartoon, they would do like a sing-along thing, and they were like, even if you don't know the words, you can just go, yeah, 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 but with gusto. That was always the thing. Yeah, 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 but with gusto.
Remember Ringo's nose? It was just awesome.
It's massive. Then there was the Jackson 5 had a cartoon.
I watched the Jackson 5 and the Osmonds. In fact, my mom bought, I think I had the Osmond pajamas, and her lamp had the Jackson 5 pajamas. In terms of when I was young, the ones I liked are, Bugs Bunny. I learned more about opera and classical music from Bugs Bunny than anything else. And Yogi Bear, I like the old ones.
What I loved was the Laugh Olympics. It had everybody. That was the thing. It had all the. Remember the Yogi Yogis and the Really Rottens and so many characters from a bunch of different ones doing competitions and stuff. When I was a kid, I thought that was fucking cool.
I get it. There was the racer thing too. That was kind of like that wacky racer.
Yeah, races. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
The old stuff though was classic. Like old Woody Woodpecker was classic.
He was so different when he was in the old ones than when he turned into that little nag.
He was fucking psychotic in the beginning. Really
It was really long and he looked really weird too. And then he turned him into this cute little thing, Koopy doll thing. But what about those crows that were on there? Remember those? Those dudes were pretty. Heckle and Jekyll.
Heckle and Jekyll, yeah.
The old ones, those were trippy. Even like racial undertones on a lot of that shit too, Well, actually, Bugs Bunny had some with that too. It was kind of weird.
I remember seeing on those old Bugs Bunny and those old Looney Tunes cartoons how they would have Daffy Duck trying to stay awake and he'd be like smoking cigarettes and drinking coffee and shit.
I thought you were gonna go down the racial one. Every once in a while they'd show like some like Zulu guy or something on there, and
he would be like really bad.
But he'd be Elmer Fudd black with huge lips,
huge lips, and a bone through his nose or something.
Yeah,
it was freaking embarrassing. Like if you were like with your black friend or whatever.
Yeah, right. Old Tom and Jerry's were my favorite.
You know something? I dislike. Maybe it's just because they never spoke or whatever, or I just did not like Tom and Jerry that much. I watched a shitload of it.
I wasn't too into it.
The old Popeyes were fucking great. I mean, the old Popeyes, because all the muttering he did under his breath was fucking hilarious, man.
It would just go on and on. It was awesome.
I didn't notice it as a kid until I was a teenager, and I was getting high, and all of a sudden, all I could hear was him going, and he's making all these fucking comments and shit. I'm like, oh my God, how did I miss this?
Well, blow me down.
There's a bunch of classics that I bet you if I went back and watched now, I wouldn't like Speed Buggy and Grape Ape.
Speed Buggy, I love Speed Buggy.
Right, but I bet you if we went back and watched it now, I'd be like, oh God.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Once I got to be a little older kid, I grew out of them fast. Yeah.
You know what's funny about cartoons, though, is I'm 40. I'm still on a steady diet of cartoons. And all through your life, there's cartoons that are just geared to different ages.
Well, for instance, Fonzie and the Happy Days gang.
Oh,
yeah, I think I've only saw that a couple times, and I know I've seen it, but it doesn't even stick in my memory.
Well, don't you remember he had the dog, Mr. Cool?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I do remember the dog.
If we weren't doing this, I never would have thought of that ever again.
Fat Albert.
Yeah, Fat Albert. That was a great one.
You're like, school on Sunday. School on Sunday? Yeah, no class. You know, the only part I really didn't like was fucking Bill Cosby and his fucking preachy nonsense. It's like, get out.
Yeah. Oh, Deputy Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember Deputy Dog.
That was pretty cool.
I love Droopy Dog.
Yeah,
Droopy Dog was awesome.
You know what? That makes me mad.
Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy.
Yeah.
That's so cool. All that Quick Straw McGraw and all that stuff. That was all cool. The old, you know. Those.
He had that little fucker with him, Mr. Quick Straw. It was also racist.
Awesome.
What? Oh, how was that racist?
The Road Runner. Always loved that.
I was one of those guys that wanted that coyote to get him once in a while. Just blacken his face a little or something, you know? It's like,
you know what? You keep giving these Acme people your business, and you're just asking for trouble. Quit buying from these guys, man. Go to Halliburton instead of Acme. You'd have been a lot more successful. The two that were the same formula were Bullwinkle and Underdog. First of it, there'd be like a Bullwinkle, and then there'd be a Fractured Fairy Tale, and then there'd be something else, and then they'd show another, the second part of the Bullwinkle. Now, Commander McBragg.
Yes.
Don't remember that.
Well, that was Bullwinkle, and you'd want Commander McBragg to come on, and it wouldn't, just like Tennessee Tuxedo on Underdog, it'd be like, come on, do a Tennessee.
Gotta make a note of that, Chumley.
The Flintstones was classic. The Jetsons, all those really.
The trouble with the Flintstones was when we were growing up, it was on constantly without a break.
This was the oddest cartoon ever because I don't know when it originally aired. I only saw it. You would see it like Saturday afternoon at like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something. It was called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. What the fuck was that? It was like it was kind of an adult cartoon. It was almost like it was a modernized Flintstones, but I never knew when it originally ran. When there'd be a rain delay on a baseball game at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they'd show that when I was like 8.
I think it was one of the first modern era.
Like a prime timer, right?
Wait till your father gets, until your father gets, wait till your father gets home.
We got to pay homage to the number one because I just can't see how Simpsons wouldn't be someone's number one. Let's get it out of the way.
I mean, The Simpsons is the fucking greatest, maybe the greatest television show ever.
Yes.
I mean, everything. It's like the Bible. It says everything in different ways.
When I go through life, there's so many times that I can think of a Simpsons quote that applies to whatever I'm dealing with.
Everything, exactly. When Phil Hartman died, he had two of the best characters by far. He had Troy McClure,
Lionel
Hutz. Like the one where he marries Selma, Bart and Lisa are swimming in his pool.
My good looks paid for that pool, and my talent filled it with water. Hi, I'm Troy McClure, your future uncle.
Hi, I remember you from such film strips as Locker Room Towel Fight, The Blinding of Larry Driscoll.
You know, I was one of the first to speak out against horseplay.
You know, if
Simpsons will just make them Lifetime Achievement Award. Like they have to be their own category because it's just
if any of you out there don't agree, you're a fucking cocksucking moron. Fuck faces.
Where would you rank South Park against The Simpsons?
Way up my list. Oh my God, yeah.
And I'm always the dissenter with South Park. I've just never really. I get it, and I think it's funny, and I've watched it for some years, but I just got to this point where it just seemed too easy to me.
It was pretty smart. Most of those episodes were pretty fucking smart.
So a lot of them were, but it was still that real left of center smart where they said they were going after everybody was like, not really.
Listen, Token, my dad isn't a racist. He's just stupid, all right? He just blurted out the N-word, and it's no big deal, okay?
Well, actually, it is kind of a big deal, Stan. It may be a mistake, but you don't understand how it feels when that word comes up. So don't say it isn't a big deal.
Oh, shit, here we go! It's on! Race war! Race war! Race war's on, everybody! It's going down! Shit is going down! Yeah, come on, here we go.
If you really think it's not a big deal, then you really are ignorant. That's all. I'm not fighting anybody.
Token forfeits! Whites win! Whites win! Race war's over, everybody! Whites won again!
So, in no particular order, I've got home movies.
Yes, agreed.
Home movies is just one of the classics. Two of the best characters I have ever seen. McGurk and Jason. I mean, they are just so fucking well done. I mean, just those movies were classic, and I mean, every little turn they did with it was great.
Yeah.
I mentioned before Commander McBragg. Let's see. I already mentioned The Tick. I just think that was one of the best ever.
Yeah, it was definitely high on my list, The Tick. King of the Hill, you know, that one for me, it wasn't like side splitting, but they just did so many that were pretty good that I kind of put it up high.
Funny,
and
man.
I mean, there was some good ones. You know, sometimes it wasn't like The Simpsons where you just bust a gut, but it was different, you know. And Futurama, of course, is one of my favorites.
Futurama is always one of those ones that
I would put Futurama well ahead.
It gives me the warm fuzzies, man. I always love watching it.
Yeah, it's just a good show to see. But then mine get all weird from there. It's like Harvey Birdman.
You get that thing I sent you?
Yeah, right. The hippo. God, just everything about that one. That Flintstones episode, just every one was good. I know you don't like the Venture Brothers that much, but that's one of my faves. Did you guys ever watch Stroker and Hoop?
Yeah, I saw a few of those. That wasn't bad. Aqua Teen Hunger Force is one of my favorites.
Some people say it's the worst show ever.
I don't know how you could have Master Shake on it and call it the worst show. I mean, Master Shake is one of the best characters ever.
When did you get a cloner?
Then I'm going to regenerate the biochemical structure of these molecules and then transfer the...
Clone me! And answer my clone! Do it! I command it!
I like Space Ghost Coast to Coast, the talk show one.
Yeah.
With Zorak. Moltar.
Beavis and Butthead. I like the videos of music, and I don't know if you guys saw the most recent run where it came back like a couple years ago.
I definitely watched some of them, yeah.
And their comments during the videos they kill me, man. It's
very Mystery Science Theater, you know?
Oh, yeah. And did you guys ever get into Ren and Stimpy?
I actually did not like Ren and Stimpy.
I didn't as much as some people, but I got it. It was pretty cool.
I know this one is relatively new, but I just think it's awesome, and that's Archer.
Archer is actually one of my top 6 for sure. John Benjamin is the shit.
Cry havoc and let's slip the hogs of war.
Dogs of war.
Whatever farm animal of war, Lana, shut up.
What about The Critic? I thought that was
love The Critic.
I forgot The Critic, actually.
Oh,
that is superb.
Duckman. Duckman was one of the funniest fucking, for 3 seasons, it was the best thing ever.
The only reason it probably wouldn't be in my top 5 or 6 is just lack of material or whatever. I was so pissed that
4 seasons, man. It's as much as Archer's had so far.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Ah, well, life's an ever unfolding blah blah blah. The point is, I've had an epiphany.
You mean a sudden revelation about the essence of existence?
Oh, no. What's the word? Colonic.
My 6 would be home movies, The Critic.
So home movies makes it because we all say that.
Right. Beavis and Butthead, South Park, Archer. And then King of the Hill is another one of those ones that I usually found really, really funny, man.
I can't put King of the Hill in front of South Park, and I can't put King of the Hill in front of Aqua Teen. I can't do it. It was consistently quality. It was never outstanding.
Just when I think you've said the stupidest thing ever, you keep talking.
I could be happy with 15 of them on the top 6.
Okay, so we know home movies is on there.
Yes.
Home movies, definitely.
The Tick.
I vote yes on The Tick.
It probably wouldn't be in my top 6. Well, I'll give it to you. What the fuck? I mean, like I said, I like it a lot.
I don't want your fucking pity vote. The Critic.
The Critic, yes.
It was a very well thought out show.
Duckman.
No, I mean, I would put it up there. Yeah, why not? I mean, it was awesome.
Archer.
Archer. I agree 1,000%.
I'll go with Archer. Oh, what about Aqua Teen?
I'm down with Aqua Teen.
I mean, don't we have 6? We've gone
if Aqua Teen's on there, that's the 6th one.
Love it.
With the 7th place being like 500 other ones.
Thank you.